Before Nigeria was a nation, it was just an idea struggling to breathe, trapped under the weight of British colonial rule. It was a land divided by ethnicity, weakened by fear, and silenced by control. Into this world stepped a man who believed the first battlefield of freedom is always the mind. His name was Nnamdi, born in 1904 in Zunguru, in what we now call Nigeria. Azikiwe grew up seeing his own people treated as subjects in their homeland. From a very young age, he understood one thing with absolute clarity. Political chains can only survive because mental chains exist first. This understanding would shape his entire life. So, Azikiwe left Africa to study in the United States. There, he dove headfirst into black intellectual movements, the powerful ideas of Pan-Africanism, and the writings of great leaders like Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois. But unlike many who found new lives abroad and stayed, Azikiwe returned home. He came back with a singular, burning mission: to awaken Africa. He was convinced that education, journalism, and political consciousness were far more powerful weapons than any gun. He started newspapers, most famously the West African Pilot. Through its pages, Azikiwe didn't just report the news. He challenged the entire colonial narrative. He gave Africans a voice where there was once silence. His writing was bold. It didn't beg for equality. It demanded dignity. In a country deliberately fractured by colonial divide and rule tactics, Azikiwe preached a radical message of unity. At a time when everyone was encouraged to put their tribe first, he insisted on one idea: Nigeria must come before tribe. This message caught fire. It resonated across the country, from the cities to the villages. Young Nigerians listened intently. Workers began to organize. The deep-seated fear that had propped up colonial authority for so long started to crumble. Azikiwe's influence transformed quiet political awareness into a powerful mass movement, a force that could no longer be ignored. And then, in 1960, the moment arrived. Nigeria finally gained its independence. 3 years later, in 1963, Nnamdi Azikiwe became the country's first ever president. But even with this immense power, his core beliefs never wavered. He remained completely consistent, arguing that Africa's freedom would never be truly complete without intellectual independence and unity across the entire continent. He saw a bigger picture, a united Africa, strong and free. However, Azikiwe's story isn't a simple fairy tale. Nigeria's journey after independence was incredibly difficult. The country faced military coups, rising ethnic tensions, and crippling political instability. These struggles exposed the hard limits of idealism when faced with the realities of a deeply fractured state. Azikiwe had helped free the nation, but the nation itself struggled to break free from its own internal divisions. The very things he fought against, disunity and tribalism, come back to haunt the new republic. Still, we have to be honest with history. Without Nnamdi Azikiwe, Nigeria's independence would have likely been delayed, or worse, diluted and shaped entirely for colonial convenience. He wasn't a warrior who carried a rifle into battle. He was a liberator who wielded a pen, and as history often shows, sometimes the pen is far more dangerous. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please subscribe, like, and share. Let us know in the comments which African liberator we should feature next. Follow for more.